topic number 2 on customer behavior. We also call it consumer behavior. As we do customer service activities, it is cognizant that we understand how customers behave, because that is going to dictate whether we succeed in having them become loyal to our organization or we are going to fail. So we are beginning to say customer behavior or consumer behavior refers to the behavior the consumers portray when searching for the product, making purchases or purchasing decision, using, evaluating, adopting, and disposing the product. What we need to understand here is that consumer behavior, customers' behavior varies depending on who is their customer, and we are going to look at other factors that dictate how consumers or customers behave. So why do we need to study customer behavior or consumer behavior? Number one, knowledge of customer behavior, knowledge of consumer behavior renders immense help for planning and implementing marketing strategies within your organization or within your business. So this knowledge is quite important. Then number two, the proof of establishing marketing concepts of the firm depends on how marketing mix adopted satisfies the consumers. Now, what we are calling marketing mix, we also call it in short the 4 P's of marketing. So when we are calling it a mix, because when we combine these 4 factors, we are able to satisfy the consumer more. And these factors are price, so the price of commodities. The other one is promotion, how we create awareness for the goods. The other one is place, or also what we call distribution, and that is the movement of goods from point A to point B. And finally, it is the what we call product. So we are able to understand our products, how do we do the packaging, and how do we ensure that everybody is happy with the products that they receive. So through consumer behavior, we are now able to know how to play around with the elements of the marketing mix. I have mentioned them: price, promotion, place, product. That is what we call marketing mix. Then marketers are able to better position to predict how consumers or how customers will respond to marketing strategies. And then finally, consumers are the reason why businesses exist. Customers, we are saying a very important statement. Customers are the reason why the business exists. So we need to be aware of their behaviors and how it is going to assist them to move forward. Then factors influencing consumer behavior. The consumer buying behavior will be influenced by a number of factors, namely the cultural ones, the social ones, the personal, and the psychological. So how does culture affect customers' behavior, or how customers behave? Number one, it comprises of values, attitudes, attitude, that should be double T, norms, beliefs, ideas, artifacts, and other meaningful symbols represented or representing the pattern of life adopted by people. Adopted by people that help them interpret, interact, evaluate, and communicate as members of the society. Culture is largely the result of a learning process. So we have other aspects of culture. Wherever people have been born, wherever people are coming from, will dictate their buying patterns in terms of the dress code that they choose, in terms of the way of consuming items that they choose, and so on and so forth. So aspects of culture have been mentioned here, quite a number of them. Their attitudes, their norms. Norms are the things that they need not to do. So you will find in a certain community, they are not allowed maybe to consume, for example, Muslims, they are not allowed to consume pork. So there is no way you can set up that kind of a business and expect it to be able to thrive. So that is things to do with culture and religion and so on and so forth. Social factors. An individual is also influenced by a series of social factors such as reference groups. Reference groups can be defined as groups which an individual identifies with, that he or she takes many values, attitudes, or behavior of group members. So we have those groups that you associate with your friends, and they are the groups that we are calling reference groups. Yeah, so the people that you associate with, uh, or the groups that you identify with, uh, or they are the groups that you learn a number of values from. Then we have the primary membership groups. These ones are informal groups, and to which individuals belong and interact with. Family, friends, neighbors, workmates. And then we have also the secondary groups. They tend to be more formal than the primary groups, and within which interaction takes place. So we have the trade unions, we have the religious groups, we have the professional societies. Trade unions are associations that exist to be able to fight for the rights of employees, fight for better salaries, fight for better working conditions, and so on and so forth. So, and the religious groups, Muslims, Hindu, Christians, all of them have a way that they can be able to consume or they buy items. Then we have aspiration groups. These are groups that you would like to belong to. They are those groups that you admire and you would like at some point to belong to. For example, in Kenya, you will realize individuals have groups even for those that own specific model of cars. They are formed groups that they can hang out together with. So if you love such kind of a car, then you want to belong to that group at some point. Then we have desocialized groups. These are groups whose value and behavior the individual rejects. So all these are social factors. When you hear about social factors, it is all about people. So the socialized ones are the ones that no one wants to belong to such kind of a group. Then we have opinion leaders, those individuals who reinforce the marketing message sent and to whom others, receivers, look for information, advice, and opinion. So in every society, we have opinion leaders. We have people that once they make a comment about a certain good, everybody tends to follow that direction that they have made the comment about. We can say, for example, politicians are opinion leaders. So if a product is good for them, they follow and ensure that that product is effective, or people consume those products because they have heard so and so comment about them. Then we have the personal factors. They include things such as age, family, life cycle, occupation, economic situation, lifestyle, and personality and self-concept. So things to do with age, different age categories consume different items. A young baby who has just been born would be a great customer for things like Pampers. But when they get to class grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, they stop using that particular item. So a family is wide. We have the bachelor, those that are not married. We have the honeymooners, those are newly married. Parenthood, they have just gotten a child. All those determine consumer behavior. Then we have the physiological factors. There are four major ones. Motivation. So what motivates you or what drives you to use a particular good or service. We have what we call perception, is the process by which people select, organize, interpret information to form a meaningful picture of the world. And finally is learning, what we learn, the knowledge we acquire. We can acquire such knowledge through adverts that have been made for the product. So you get to know, oh, so this product exists. Then you go and purchase the item. Then we have what we call the buying decision process. Every consumer undergoes what we call the buying decision process. So need recognition, information search, evaluation of alternatives, purchase decision, and post-purchase evaluation. So every consumer begins to identify, I have a need, maybe a mobile phone, for example, or a car, or a nice dress, or a nice trouser. Then number two, that numbering I will be able to change it. Then number two is you identify the information. Where are you going to get the information from? Then, of course, when you are doing information search, you get information about the cost of this product from many sources. Then we have the evaluation of alternatives. Then we have purchase decision. Then we have post-purchase decision. Yeah, so those ones are the ones that are explained here. I have just summarized it. So need recognition. So you begin to recognize that you have a problem. Then information search, and what are some of the places where you search for information? We can have the personal sources, where is friends, family, colleagues, neighbors. Commercial sources, those can be adverts, salespersons, package displays. Public sources, mass media, consumer rating organizations, experimental sources, and so on and so forth. Then you evaluate alternatives. We are evaluating alternatives because you have quite a number of them from the information search. Then we do the post-purchase decision. Some factors could intervene between the purchase attention and the purchase decision. So the attitude of others, and unanticipated situation factors, lack of money. And finally is a post-purchase decision. So post-purchase decision is simply asking yourself whether you have gained the satisfaction. If it is a dress that you are looking for, have you gained the satisfaction that you needed, or you have been dissatisfied? Yeah, so I invite you to read all that so that you can be able to understand and be able to gain knowledge around the consumer or the buyer decision process.